Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving into an interesting and often overlooked coin, the Australia 20 cents coin from 2008, especially focusing on a unique condition where the coin shows a rust-brown appearance on both the front and the back. If you've ever come across one of these coins in your collection or spare change, you might be wondering what it's really worth today and whether collectors are interested in it. Let's explore everything you need to know. To begin with, the Australian 20 cent coin has a rich history that dates back to 1966 when Australia transitioned to decimal currency. The 2008 version of this coin continues that legacy, with the familiar platypus design on the reverse side, which is one of the most iconic animal symbols in Australian coinage. On the front, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which was used on Australian coins during that period. This design gives the coin both historical and cultural value, even before we consider its condition. Now let's talk about the condition, which is where things get really interesting. A 2008 Australian 20 cent coin showing a rust-brown color on both sides is not actually rust in the traditional sense because the coin is not made of iron or steel. Instead, this discoloration is usually caused by environmental exposure, chemical reactions, or long-term circulation wear. While some collectors might initially think this reduces the value, there is actually a growing niche of collectors who appreciate unusual toning and natural aging patterns. These coins tell a story of circulation and time, which adds a unique character to each piece. When it comes to the background and composition, the Australian 20 cent coin is made from cupronickel, which is a blend of this composition gives the coin durability and resistance to corrosion under normal conditions. However, when exposed to moisture, soil, or certain chemicals, the surface can develop that brownish tone. The coin weighs and has a distinctive scalloped edge, making it easily recognizable even without looking closely. Collector demand for this type of coin can vary. Standard 2008 Australian 20 cent coins in average circulated condition are very common and usually don't carry a high premium. However, coins with unusual appearances, such as strong brown toning on both sides, can attract attention from collectors who specialize in error coins, environmental damage coins, or unique toning patterns. While this is a smaller segment of the market, it is steadily growing, especially among modern coin enthusiasts who enjoy collecting something different. Now let's discuss the current market value. In general, a regular 2008 Australian 20 cent coin in circulated condition is typically worth around $1,048,000 to $175,000 Australian dollars. However, if your coin has a distinctive rust-brown appearance on both the front and back, and the toning is even and visually appealing, it might sell for around $2,048,000 to $2,075,000 Australian dollars to the right buyer. In rare cases, if the coin has an exceptionally unique look or is part of a themed collection, it could fetch slightly more. The key factor here is eye appeal and collector interest, rather than traditional grading standards. For collectors, there are a few helpful tips to keep in mind. First, always store your coins in a dry and safe environment to prevent further damage, unless you specifically want to preserve the current toned look. Second, avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can reduce its value and remove the natural patina that makes it unique. Third, consider grouping similar toned coins together, as themed collections often attract more attention from buyers. Lastly, keep an eye on online marketplaces to understand how similar coins are being valued and sold. In conclusion, the Australia 20 cents 2008 coin with a rust-brown appearance on both sides is a great example of how even common coins can become interesting collectibles. While it may not be extremely rare or highly valuable, its unique condition can still make it desirable to certain collectors. Every coin has a story, and this one tells a story of time, environment, and circulation. So if you have one in your collection, don't overlook it. It might just be more special than you think. Next up, today we're going to explore a very interesting and valuable coin from Australia, the 20 cents coin from the year 1968, especially in very fine condition, and we will also talk about its current market value in dollars. If you are a coin collector or someone who is just starting this hobby, this video is going to be very helpful and informative for you. Let's begin with a little bit of history. The Australian 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia switched to decimal currency. The 1968 coin belongs to the early years of this decimal system, which already makes it historically significant. These coins were part of everyday circulation, but over time, many of them were lost, damaged, or worn out. Because of that, coins that survive today in very fine condition are much more attractive to collectors. Now, when we talk about the condition of a coin, especially very fine, it means the coin still shows clear details. The design is not completely sharp like a brand new coin, but important features such as the platypus design on the reverse side and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the front are still visible and well-defined. There may be light wear, but overall, the coin still looks clean and presentable, which increases its desirability. Talking about the background and composition of this coin, the 1968 Australian 20-cent coin is made from cupronickel, which is a mixture of copper and nickel. This gives the coin a silver-like appearance and also makes it durable. The weight of the coin is around, and it has a distinctive round shape with a smooth edge. The iconic platypus design on the reverse side is one of the most loved animal designs in Australian coinage, making it even more appealing for collectors worldwide. Now let's discuss collector demand, which plays a very important role in determining the value of any coin. The 1968 Australian 20-cent coin is not considered extremely rare because millions were minted, but demand still exists due to its age and its place in early decimal coin history. Collectors who are building complete sets of Australian coins often look for coins like this in better condition. A very fine condition coin stands out compared to heavily worn ones, so it naturally attracts more attention and better prices. Coming to the most exciting part, the current market value. As of today, a 1968 Australian 20-cent coin in very fine condition usually has a value ranging from around $275,000 to $645,000, depending on its exact condition, shine, and any unique features it may have. If the coin is closer to extremely fine condition, it could even fetch slightly higher prices. While this may not sound like a huge amount, it's important to remember that coin collecting is a long-term hobby, and values can increase over time as demand grows and availability decreases. For collectors, there are always some useful tips to keep in mind. Always store your coins properly in protective holders or albums to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Avoid cleaning your coins, as cleaning can actually reduce their value. It is also a good idea to learn how to grade coins accurately, because even a small difference in condition can make a noticeable difference in price. Staying updated with market trends and connecting with other collectors can also help you make better decisions. As we move towards the conclusion, it's clear that the 1968 Australian 20-cent coin may not be extremely rare, but it definitely holds historical value and collector interest. In very fine condition, it represents a beautiful piece of Australia's early decimal currency era. For beginners, it's a great coin to start with, and for experienced collectors, it's an important part of completing a collection. Next up, today we're diving into an interesting and often overlooked coin from Australia, the 20-cent coin from 1981, especially those pieces that show rust black toning and are still considered to be in fine condition. If you enjoy coin collecting or you're curious about the hidden value in everyday coins, this is going to be a fascinating journey. Let's begin with a little history. The Australian 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia transitioned to decimal currency. By 1981, this coin had already become a familiar part of daily life across the country. The design features the iconic platypus on the reverse, an animal unique to Australia, and a favorite among collectors because of its distinctive appearance. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was standard for coins of that era. The 1981 issue was produced in large numbers, meaning it's not rare in general circulation, but condition and appearance can make a big difference in value. Now let's talk about the condition, especially the rust black appearance mentioned. It's important to understand that Australian 20-cent coins are made from cupronickel, which is a mix of copper and nickel. This composition does not actually rust like iron, but over time, coins can develop dark toning, stains, or environmental damage that may look like rust. A blackened or dark-toned coin can still be collectible, especially if the details remain visible and the coin is graded as fine condition. Fine condition usually means the main design is clear, though there may be moderate wear from circulation. Moving on to the background and composition, the coin weighs and has a distinctive dodecagonal shape, meaning it has 12 sides. This unique shape makes it easy to even without looking closely. The cupronickel composition gives the coin durability, which is why many of these coins are still found today, even after decades in circulation. However, environmental exposure, storage conditions, and handling all contribute to the appearance we see today, including that darker age look that some collectors actually find appealing. When we talk about collector demand, the 1,981 Australian 20-cent coin sits in an interesting place. It's not considered rare, but collectors are always searching for coins with unusual toning, errors, or particularly preserved surfaces. A rust-black toned coin in fine condition may not be the most desirable for traditional collectors who prefer uncirculated coins, but there is still a niche group of collectors who appreciate aged coins with character. Sometimes unique toning can even make a coin stand out more than a standard piece. Now let's discuss the current market value. In general, a 1,981 Australian 20-cent coin in fine condition typically has a modest value. Most of these coins sell in the range of around $345,000 to $445,000, depending on the exact condition and appeal. If the coin has heavy discoloration or damage, however, if the toning is attractive and the details are still strong, some collectors might be willing to pay slightly. It's important to remember that coins like this are more about interest and collection rather than high investment returns. For collectors, there are always opportunities to learn and grow. If you come across a coin like this, take time to examine it carefully. Look at the details of the platypus, the lettering, and the overall surface. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Even if the coin looks dark or aged, that natural condition is often better than an artificially cleaned surface. Storing your coins in a dry environment can also help preserve them for the future. As we come to the conclusion, the 1,981 Australian 20-cent coin may not be rare or highly valuable, but it carries history, character, and a story of decades in circulation. A rust-black toned coin in fine condition reflects the journey it has taken through time, passing from hand to hand, witnessing everyday life. For collectors, that story can be just as meaningful as the monetary value. So the next time you see an old coin, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Sometimes even the simplest coins can hold a unique charm and a place in your collection. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy exploring coins and their hidden stories, make sure to stay connected with the channel for more amazing discoveries. Next up, today, we are going to explore a very interesting and often overlooked coin from Australia. The 2020 Australian 20-cent coin, especially the one that has developed a rust-brown tone and is now considered in old fine condition. This coin might look ordinary at first glance, but once you understand its story, condition, and collector appeal, you may see it in a completely new light. Let's begin with the history of this coin. The Australian 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia transitioned to decimal currency. Since then, it has remained one of the most widely used coins in everyday transactions. The 2020 version continues this long tradition, featuring the iconic platypus design on the reverse side, which represents Australia's unique wildlife. On the obverse, you will find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Jody Clark. Even though millions of these coins were minted in 2020, each coin can tell a slightly different story depending on how it has aged over time. Now let's talk about the condition, which is where this specific coin becomes more interesting. A rust-brown tone on a 20-cent coin is not actual rust, since the coin is not made of iron, but rather a result of environmental exposure, oxidation, and circulation wear. When a coin is described as being in old fine condition, it means that while it has clearly been used in circulation, its main design details are still visible. The platypus design may show some wear, and the edges might be slightly smooth, but the overall structure of the coin remains intact. This natural aging can sometimes make a coin more visually unique compared to shiny, uncirculated examples. Looking at the background and composition, the Australian 20-cent coin is made from a cupronickel alloy, which consists of this composition gives the coin its durability and resistance to corrosion under normal conditions. However, over time and with exposure to different environments, coins can develop toning, discoloration, or a brownish appearance. The round shape, smooth edge, and relatively larger size compared to other Australian coins make it easily recognizable. Its weight of and diameter of give it a solid, substantial feel in the hand. When it comes to collector demand, coins like the 2020 Australian 20 cents are generally considered common, but that does not mean they are without value. Collectors often look for coins with unusual toning, errors, or distinctive wear patterns. A rust-brown toned coin in fine condition might attract beginner collectors who are building affordable collections or those interested in toned coins. While it may not be rare, its uniqueness can still make it desirable to certain collectors who appreciate character and history in circulated coins. Now let's discuss the current market value. In most cases, a standard 2020 Australian 20 cents coin in circulated condition is worth its which is 20 cents Australian. However, when converted to US dollars, that is approximately around $1.30. 0 to $1.50, 0 depending on exchange rates. If the coin has an unusual appearance, such as strong brown toning or an appealing aged look, it might sell for slightly higher, possibly between $2.30, 0 and $2.50, 0 to the right buyer. It's important to understand that condition, eye appeal, and collector interest all play a role in determining value, even for modern coins. For collectors, there are some helpful tips to keep in mind. Always store your coins in a dry and safe environment to prevent further damage. Avoid cleaning coins, as cleaning can reduce their value significantly. If you come across coins with unique colors or patterns, keep them aside, as these may have a niche market. It is also a good idea to learn basic grading skills so you can better understand the condition of your coins and estimate their potential worth. Patience is key in coin collecting, and even small-value coins can become meaningful parts of a larger collection. As we come to the conclusion, the 2020 Australian 20 cents coin in rust-brown old fine condition may not be a rare treasure, but it carries its own charm and story. It represents everyday history, the journey of currency through countless hands, and the subtle beauty that comes with age. For collectors, it's a reminder that value is not always about rarity or high price, but also about appreciation, learning, and passion.